a makeup crazy person.
Yes, you are.
I'm not. It's just because now, and my mom tells me, that finest radio presenter, you take it. You know, radio, people don't care. Mike's up. But she'll be hailing me because she's proud.
No, I really don't care about this food. I want to say.
Okay, guys, 10 seconds to go. Mics are up. Studio is live.
I'm not even that person.
Tega, really?
Good morning. This is a Feel Good Friday, and of course we're on the Locker Room 981. Is where we bring you sports stories here on Smooth 98.1.
Yes, indeed. And it's time for us. Tega is here.
Yes.
Just to put that out there. Good morning, Tega.
Yes, I'm somewhere behind the microphone, and I don't understand why I have to change my seat.
Tega, sorry. We'll have to always apologize.
Good morning,
to
Lagos.
Tega.
Yes. They have to apologize to me, but they never buy me breakfast. How come people never do that part of their
And
agreement?
may your
we are
prophecy
breakfast.
be fulfilled.
Amen.
That we never buy you breakfast. Aha.
Yes.
There you
Alright,
go.
if you'd like to join the conversation this morning, please send us a
That's
WhatsApp
not a prophecy,
message.
that's a compliment.
0809 444 0981. 0809 444 0981 is the number to send your messages to.
On
we're
Twitter. Yes, on Twitter we're at Smooth981FM. The hashtag is Locker Room 981. We're streaming live on YouTube, like Ayo is queuing in. And of course, youtube.com/Smooth981FM Lagos. You need to watch.
Yes, you need to watch what goes on during and behind the scenes.
Yes.
Okay, let's come on. Usually we start off with basketball, and today is no different. So NBA legend Dwayne Wade played his last game for Miami Heat. Now, Dwayne Wade had some superstar fans on hand for his final NBA game. LeBron James, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony were all sitting courtside in Brooklyn on Wednesday night to watch Miami's game against the Nets. Wade punctuated his career with one last triple-double, finishing with 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 113-94 loss to Brooklyn. Well, James said that it was important for them to be there because their friendship goes beyond basketball. CP played last night. We had our last regular season game last night, and Melo's right here in New York. So we kind of made the decision to come up here. Now, this was what James said. Listen, we couldn't miss Wade's last game. This is the last time he's going to be on an NBA floor wearing that Miami Heat uniform. That numbers me, so we are happy to be here to support.
Yes, it is his final game. I know how, his and it's always been his final season, the last dance. I think that's what they titled it. Of course, it was COVID that started all this drama. If you want to retire, just retire and go. But no,
well, it's nice to celebrate
but
yes,
no doubt, they do that one last trip. It's a lot. Look, you may think it's just one season where they play. There's a lot of things that go into it. There's a lot of branding opportunities. There's a lot of marketing opportunities. They are retiring. They better secure the bag. So they retire well. But it was a great game. I always thought, triple-double, they'll let him do that tonight. Because, it was Miami Heat season is already done. So let's just have this 1 minute or one last game for Wade, and they were going to always give him the ball. But it was a really good game. Some people say yes, he can still play, but I don't think that he can still play. His body has been telling him for a few seasons that I cannot take all 82 games per season. My body cannot survive it. But I can fit into some games. Unfortunately, teams are not like that anymore. They're like, we need guys that can be in rotation consistently.
I have a question. Do I dare ask what's next for Dwayne Wade?
You're asking the wrong person. Because it's apparent. It's apparently, well, what they say, what himself and Gabriel Union say is that he wants to spend more time with the kids. He now has a baby. He wants to be in his daughter's life, and all the talks. But I'm sure there'll be something else in the closet coming out for him. For Kobe, it was going into the finance world, and then of course helping to coach his daughter's basketball team, and always being around the WNBA. But I don't know what it is. I can't say what it will be for Wade. I don't know if the China tours will still continue. I know they'll have one this year, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing that they'll continue from next season and on. So we don't know what his life is going to be after this. But he's had a very fulfilling career. Won NBA championships, won his MVPs. Great kid, all round. Apart from the one time he did something, but that was off court, not on court. But so far on court, his life is good. I will still take Paul Pierce over him every day of the week and twice.
But I agree with you. His life is good because that was very evident yesterday. First thing that crossed my mind when I saw his face on TV was, dude, you look good.
Yeah.
You look well.
He's had a good life.
Like a married man should.
And then he has good friends.
Yes, he does. Yes, he has a good structure, support system around him. Let's go to this next story. Let's talk about our ladies, right? Our Falcons, our Super Falcons. Now, acting president of Nigeria Football Federation, Barrister Sheyi Akinwumi, has assured that the federation will provide even more support and encouragement for the Super Falcons as they enter the final stages of preparation for this year's FIFA World Cup finals in France. According to him, he said at the ceremony inside the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja, where the ceremony was held, he said the government of Nigeria has been giving so much support to the various national teams, including the Super Falcons. On our part at the NFF, will ensure that the girls receive even stronger support before the FIFA World Cup in France.
Yes. So the tour has happened and the trophy has gone back, left our hands. But I would say this: it wasn't the most well planned tour you'll ever see. Pretty much, it wasn't the most well planned tour. Publicity wasn't really there. The ambassador that they brought, Osaze had to tell a story about how his mother was influential in his life. I'm like, if your mother is not influential in your life, whose mother should be influential in your life? A lot of things it's like they knew the tour was going to happen. They knew the trophy was going to come, but they're like, whatever we can do for the day, that's what we're going to do. And that's precisely how it went. It was just flat, no activations around it, no fan engagement. Just flat. But what it is for the NFF to say that, you know what, this is a World Cup here and we're going to support the women. They've shown it by the number of, friendlies and tournaments that the Super Falcons have actually gone to. So it's, more than the Vice President Sheyi Akinwumi saying that it has actually been happening. So there was, I think him just saying it was just reiterating the fact. But what is most important is that Nigeria goes to the World Cup and try to at least get to the knockout stages now. We've reached quarterfinals before. The women, the men, and you guys are just dawning. But the women,
the women are always on point.
The women are always on point. And if we could just get close to that for me, that'd be nice.
All right. Okay, let's move on to our now going to the men. AFCON 2019, Super Eagles can beat Egypt, Senegal to title, says Lawal. Now, former Super Eagles midfielder Garba Lawal has said the team needs to be battle ready to face the top teams of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations starting in a few months in June. So speaking ahead of today's draws in Egypt, Lawal submitted that the Super Eagles are favorites, but they must have to prepare adequately to meet up the expected challenge from top-rated countries like hosts Egypt, Senegal, and Morocco. He said we have to be ready to face strong teams, whether it is Senegal or Egypt.
Yes. So Egypt is hosting it, so Egypt will be solid in that tournament. But what it is that the draws are today. So today we know our fate. We know what group we are in. And like when people say, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. No! Sometimes you can avoid the best till the final or the semi-final. It's true. So that you would have built up momentum, built up confidence. Your players will be in competition mode before they meet the best. I don't like that where you start with the best. So there are two ways to get to the top. You can get a favorable group and get to the top, and then you can take the hard route. Why must we always take the hard route? So today the draws happen. We know our fate.
All right, let's move to talk about Formula One now. Sebastian Vettel said that he set the pace in the first practice as Ferrari hinted that they could be the team to beat at the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend. Vettel finished the first session 0.207 seconds ahead of Mercedes Lewis Hamilton, but the German was running harder tires, which should be slower. Now, teammate Charles Leclerc was third ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen. As in Bahrain 2 weeks ago, Ferrari's advantage over Mercedes appeared mainly to be on the straights. Now, Bottas heads into the weekend as the champion's leader after a win in the season opening race in Australia and is in a second behind Hamilton in Bahrain.
Yes, so far top two drivers on the list will be Bottas and then Lewis Hamilton behind him, and then Verstappen in third. But again, during practice this morning, it was Sebastian Vettel that showed that they're faster. I mean, Lewis Hamilton, the thing about Lewis Hamilton is that you cannot use him particularly to say that this is the pace of Mercedes, because he can drive a wheelbarrow. But so you from what we can see, it is that the Ferrari is faster. Sometimes it just comes down to strategy and again reliability. What are they substituting? What are they giving up for the pace that they have? And so practice session again, it was Sebastian Vettel this time that looks like he's getting his groove back. Charles Leclerc was in third, Lewis Hamilton was second, and Bottas finished in, I think, fifth. So I think we should use Bottas's pace to measure how prepared Mercedes is at this particular point. But what it is that, again, Ferrari are favorites, but it comes down to what happens on race day.
All right,
That's
so we
when
look
anything
forward.
happens.
We look forward to what happens on race day, but right now we're going to break, and we look forward to what happens after the break. So come back here. It is Smooth 98.1.
I want to tell you before the stuff that I must finish the 4 stories before the break.
Oh, you did it! Well done. I didn't say you cut.
Okay, so when we come back,
yeah.
we're going to do the question.
Okay, well done. I was going to say for the first time in a long time.
I was particular, and then I noticed I was talking too much. I was like, 10:23? What the hell? Cut the story.
Okay, I'm going to be watching you now.
Yeah, so,
you said we should be watching
try.
you.
Yeah, we can try as much as I can be a little more precise and concise.
Yeah.
It's just that
You did that with the last story.
it's just that
Very
sometimes
nice.
I feel like I have
because you have a lot to say.
all
Yeah,
day.
when you start your analysis and your description. All right, so Olivier Giroud. It's French though. We shouldn't pronounce the last word in the last
Isha
letter.
Olivier Giroud, just pronounce it.
It should be Giroud.
Better pronounce Olivier Giroud. But you don't say
Oh my
Giroud
goodness.
like African French. Say Giroud. So it has a pulse. It has a Giroud,
Yeah.
but it's not a Giroud.
Okay, so Giroud.
Yeah.
So
but
the D is almost silent.
Yes.
Giroud. Yeah,
Olivier
so I'm
Giroud.
standing back. French, I'm not too bad. Hi everyone, how are we doing today? It's Friday.
I'm tired.
Did I ask her, please? I asked you, good people of YouTube family.
You owe me munchies, Oga. My munchies has
See what
finished.
she does to us all the time.
You know, I mean, truth be
Guess
told,
what? I tried it though. I went to Ebano.
Oh, did you buy? Oh my God, did you
I
see?
didn't buy. So what happened? I went to a store, and while I was walking in there, they were doing a promo, and they were giving it out in little packs. I said, and I was with Samuel coincidentally. That day that Samuel and I went home, I said I must taste this thing that drives Tega. And it was nice. I was like, no
Why
wonder
didn't you collect-
it doesn't taste like what I think.
Yeah.
They weren't giving it free of charge. They just gave it in little.
It's 15 naira, kwere.
I'll buy it. I didn't know it was really nice. I forgot. I forgot actually that I could
I
have
don't
bought for
like
you.
her
Because
very much anymore.
when they gave me free, usually when they give free,
Right.
it's nice. I'll buy
Can we
one.
keep malice with her?
Valentine will not keep malice. You can keep malice.
We will keep malice. We have to do it as a community.
I know.
Otherwise, it won't work.
Community malice. Oh, it was really nice. It wasn't, so what I imagined in my head.
It's not what it was.
wasn't what-
Yeah,
it was
that's what
different.
I love it.
We have comments too, and we have adverts. We have to know how we're going to do this thing.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll come back with
Eh,
2
we're coming
comments.
back. Okay, 2 comments. Okay.
Look for the 2 comments.
And
The 2 earliest ones.
Okay. Earliest. Should we leave the football ones for now? Since we have not taken
Yes,
football
2
stories yet.
earliest ones.
Okay, we're coming back in 25 seconds.
Did you know that a thorough knowledge of traffic signs are compulsory for all drivers? Road signs and markings together with signals are to ensure a smooth.
All right, mics are up. Studio is live. All right, this is certainly Lagos where we obey traffic laws, and that's why it's important for us to play this to you every single time. Remind you of what you must do to ensure that you're obeying the traffic laws. This is Locker Room here as part of Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Ayo.
And of course, Tega is here as well. We'll take some comments before we go to our next story.
Big T says Manchester United fans give a new meaning to the word delusion. Imagine after losing to Barcelona, even after breaking Messi's face, they had the nerve to say they did well, that it wasn't that bad. They're obviously on mushrooms, he said.
Okay, guys, just calm down. We're going to talk that story very shortly.
Josh here says, "Good morning, Tega. I have a special request. It's been a while since you stayed back for Feel Good Friday. It's always fun to have you around. Can you please stay today?"
Oh,
Not for free. Breakfast, full
Josh.
English breakfast.
Can
All
you
right.
stay
You
back?
heard
Yes
that.
or no?
We're at number 4, Amici close. Alright, so Olivier Giroud condemns alleged racist chanting from Chelsea fans. Our next story: Chelsea forward Olivier Giroud has hit out at the supporters' slogans about Liverpool's Mohamed Salah on Thursday. They're still doing this thing.
Yeah.
Well, Chelsea beat Slavia Prague 1-0 in the first leg of the Europa League quarter-final, but the game was overshadowed by an incident earlier in the day when Chelsea fans were filmed apparently singing an Islamophobic song, Chelsea, about the club's former player Salah. I said after the match, "I think these people shouldn't belong to Chelsea. I think the club and everybody condemns this kind of things, and we are 100% behind Mo Salah."
Yes, I think it's really nasty. They were going to play against a game in the Europa League against Slavia Prague, and they were singing for the game on Sunday. So Chelsea faces Liverpool on Sunday in an EPL clash that could also be a title decider, because anybody from Manchester City or Liverpool that drop points now, it looks like the finish line has really come for you. But I mean, it was an underwhelming, if you ask me, an underwhelming performance by Chelsea, but they did what was necessary. They were the away team, they got an away goal, kept a clean sheet, and have come back to England with the advantage. So good news for them. But on the other hand, on Sunday, it is important that a different Chelsea shows up. A Chelsea that is ready to play, a Chelsea that is ready to score, a Chelsea that was able to secure back-to-back wins. That is a Chelsea that on Sunday we need to see, because you're talking about a Liverpool side that's about to win, that's gunning for a trophy that has eluded them for years, and even if sometimes their best players don't show up on the day, the thing about Liverpool is that they can get goals from other people. So Sadio Mane is in good form, Salah is not really in form, but those goals are flowing, and then Firmino can once in a while bring in 1 or 2 goals. So it's not the kind of team that you say, okay, if we hold this person down, then the other person doesn't score. So I think if Chelsea is going to, I mean, on Sunday, Chelsea is going to have to show up, especially as they're not just fighting to determine who wins the league, they're also fighting for a top 4 spot, because that's another spot that if you slip up, another person will very quickly, the way people are taking people's inheritance these days, they're not even going to court to negotiate the will. It's just, let's take it. So Chelsea has that top 4 battle, and that's why they have all to play for. But for Liverpool, they also have that that title championship, and they're playing for that too. So it will be interesting to see how Sunday turns out. And having said that, I must mention this: to watch one free EPL match every weekend, please take your mobile phones as I speak to you now. Go to your app store and download the Kwese iFlix for free. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink sponsors of the Premier League, have already paid for this thing. Wow. Just watch it for free. Right. Please, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, next story.
Thank you. So Paul Pogba says that Manchester United remain confident and have the talent to produce a miracle at the Nou Camp by beating Barcelona to reach the Champions League semi-finals for the first time since 2011. Pogba said, "The chances that we get, we have to put them in. They," that's Barcelona, "didn't really have a lot of chances, and maybe just one when David De Gea made a great save, but after that they weren't dangerous," he said. He continues, says, "We believe that we can beat them. We are Manchester United, even if they are Barcelona, we are Manchester United, and we're playing the Champions League just like they do." Wow.
Yes, I like the way he's speaking, and I think part of and I totally agree with him. A 1-0 victory at Old Trafford is not guaranteed for Barcelona. This is a Manchester United side that went to Juventus and beat Juve. Different coach, but practically the same team. Apart from Fellaini, this is still the Manchester side that lost on Old Trafford and then went to France to beat PSG. So it is doable. It's not impossible. It's not improbable. It's even mathematically done. Okay. It's 1-0. But here's what it is. But I was struggling on the day to remember which Barcelona player played excellently. There are players that played good. Gerard Piqué was good. Rakitic was good. Arturo Vidal, when he came on, apart from that time where he flew into a player and almost gave away a penalty last minute, he was good. But I don't remember that any Barcelona played gave more than 5/10 on the day. I don't know. Like they didn't have to. It's not like they were in second gear. It's like they were sleeping on the pitch. So they came in and put in very low performance and still went away with a win. And that's the team that you're complaining that I believe I can fly. I mean, you can believe what you want, but when you go to Camp Nou, it will not be the same team. Messi is not going to put that below performance that he did at Old Trafford.
What happened to Chris Smalling? I remember his comments. We spoke about.
But he's the one that injured Messi now. He said bring it on.
Yeah, he did.
He can't beat him at football, but he can beat him physically, and that's what he did. Everybody know your level. Do you understand? So he knew his level, so he brushed the guy physically. And if you notice, Messi did not try him too much.
Yeah.
After that, Messi was like, this guy's already made me bleed. I don't want to know what he can do. But in Camp Nou, it will be a totally different story. They'll be at home. They'll be riding on that win. And they'll be in a totally different form. So the Barcelona match that Manchester United saw on Wednesday will not be the Barcelona that they see on Tuesday. The same Barcelona that they see on Tuesday. Same thing with Manchester United. So yes, in as much as I believe that Pogba and Manchester United have a chance to go to Camp Nou and do something, I don't think that they will. So let's wait and see on Tuesday. But
let's
what
wait
it
and
is,
see. That should be an exciting match. I will watch it.
And then they also have the beauty of the fact that Barcelona is going to. I mean, Barcelona played on Wednesday. Then they're going to play on Saturday against Huesca because they still have to fight for the La Liga Championship, and then they're coming to play again on Tuesday. Yeah. So there's just a lot of matches with too little time to fully recover. So let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. We have loads of comments. We try to get through them as much as possible. All right. So Chimobi Victor says Barcelona versus Man U didn't live up to billing because Man United didn't come to play. No wonder they didn't have any shots on goal. While for Paul Pogba, he's playing as if he's a referee of his team.
and then please add your names to your messages so we can take your messages. And then that's for the person whose number ends with 1183. So you people should please buy Tega breakfast. Lewis Hamilton can drive a wheelbarrow. It's such a huge punchline from Madame Tega. And Edward says, supporting what Tega said, strong as the river as it chooses the easiest route or course, that is why it lives long. Very interesting. This is from Lukman.
All right, Lukman says, good morning, team. AFCON draw today. I wish Super Eagles got a favorable draw today, and I will be missing Banze and his Burkina Faso teammates. Good one for Arsenal and Chelsea yesterday, and I hope Liverpool will not bottle it this weekend against Chelsea the way Gerrard did some years back.
Recall. Martins from Amole Ojedubega actually says, hi everyone, congrats to Dwayne Wade for his retirement, and congrats to Arsenal FC for advancing to next stage of the Europa League. Man U, well, best of luck at Camp Nou. And then
they need tons of that. Iman says, I'm more worried for Smalling than I'm worried for this country. Wish him safe return from Camp Nou. Then Chelsea won't give me high blood pressure. All the other teams had already scored since first half, while Chelsea scored 85 minutes. I'd already given up on them.
MI from Akoka says, Arsenal beating Napoli is how you do an Italian job in England. Unlike others, small thing, they will be crying. Bring it on. They finally brought it and you were begging for Messi. Let me go and download Quessage.
Oh, nice one, MI from Akoka. Now, this is Big T. Share you hear Pogba comment. Told you that they are on mushrooms. They want to go to Spain and beat them. That you couldn't do at home. Tega, Barca played badly and still beat United. It's home and away straight win. Next story, Joe.
Talk about next story. Let's take the next message. Still on WhatsApp. Ademola from Shangota says, I have a feeling that it's only Arsenal that can stop themselves in this European League.
We have a feeling.
Really?
All right, let's go to our next story very quickly before we go on a break. Unai Emery praises awesome Aaron Ramsey after Arsenal beat Napoli. A lot of people have spoken about that. He praised an awesome display from Aaron Ramsey after he helped Arsenal beat Napoli 2-0 in the first leg of the Europa League quarterfinal yesterday.
Yes, so he's praising an Aaron Ramsey that is on his way out, which is why it's tricky because he's using Aaron Ramsey to, and I like the way Aaron Ramsey is very professional. Whenever he puts on the Arsenal jersey, he only thinks Arsenal. He comes on the field and tries to make changes. And he scored the goal, the first goal yesterday. Before Lucas Torreira scored the second deflected goal. Well, I don't call it a Lucas Torreira goal and an own goal. It doesn't matter to me now. But what matters is that Arsenal won by 2-0. Unfortunately, they did not play a very good a very efficient second half. Let me put it that way, because they created chances and they didn't score. They're going to a Napoli side that likes to score goals at home, and so like from what you've seen in the Champions League, a 2-0 advantage is no advantage at all. So they haven't finished the job. They have to go to Italy to do the Italian job.
Finish the Italian job. All right, Lagos, we're still going to finish our job here once we come back as we wrap up the locker room. But stay tuned. This is still Smooth 98.1.
This is Smooth 98.1.
You will finish all the messages. You guys should have left.
No,
them.
there are messages. Oh, wait, Val, go down. Then there's some on Twitter. We haven't opened YouTube either.
Anyway,
We still have comments. Then we have from Twitter. Okay, no, we don't have. Twitter is not, except I don't know if it's locker room that has any. Okay, no, this is from Business Express on Tech Friday. Then let's see YouTube if there's any comments on YouTube. Lakum, I thought you said you're going to think about it.
Lakum, you got this. You got this.
After giving us a fantastic one.
I don't have a feel-good topic. I only have a bad topic.
Why?
Ayo, thank you so much for loving our behind the scenes. Like me, they say they love the behind the scenes. We keep your people entertained. You need to give us a raise.
Your people.
Like me, you know why your constituency. We are your constituents. We are your people.
Hey, you reached near the moon, then you crashed. Are you Moses?
I know was teaching. There's one that was done before, but I wanted to make sure. She said,
Trade parents exhibit, and you thought you'd never
do. Oh, I want to say that one.
You're not doing it now. Some of the things. I have so many things.
All you need to do is paraphrase it. No, you say all. Me, I will say. Me, I will say my own. There were some things that I thought I would never do.
Me too.
Then I see my mother do. You know, I used to think I was.
See how everybody watching us now have a foreknowledge of what we're talking about.
You see, this is why you should tune into YouTube. You get to know what we're talking about.
English breakfast, full one.
We have breakfast enough.
Are you serious?
so you're not talking to me.
I don't find it funny. Oh, the one I used to hate when I was younger, I'm not doing it. And they say, then you know, teachers in primary school were like demigods.
Yeah.
They say your teacher is one that is silly. Hey, that thing will enter my bones.
So your teacher is what?
Like maybe you say that.
You are good students in school.
No, I just
don't care about my teachers.
And they saw my teachers. Like if my aunts and uncle wanted to get to us, we say, your teacher is your teacher is one that talking.
The one that gets to me. It's when my mother will abuse. My mother will abuse the living Jesus out of you. My mother is not remotely nice. I'm politically correct compared to my mother. Trust me, she's horrible.
Obviously, you're doing the same thing that you said.
And then she gets up the next minute as if nothing happened. Hey, so Tega. No, sorry. No, she has abused you.
It's an abomination for African parents to say sorry. Now, you know?
You don't understand what I'm saying. It's not small cause. Like one day, my nephew was doing something. I smacked him. She just turned around. Wait, go burn your up again. You slap him. Thank you. Then the next minute, say, hey, Tega. So
okay, bye guys. All right, mics are going up. Studio is live.
Or we just have enough time to take your messages. Very quickly, we'll rush through this. You're listening to The Locker Room here on Smooth Breakfast with Ayo.
And Valentine.
And Tega Supreme. Collins here says, Manchester United fans prayed hard that Barcelona wouldn't score in today's game. God answer their prayers. The only goal of the game came from Manchester United. Wow. Congrats, lads, he adds. And Yemi, thank you for sending me.
Yeah, Yemi is one who says that we should get you breakfast. Now, Gertrude from Rema Border says, Barcelona just made a lackadaisical minced meat of Manchester United. Lack of incentive.
Wow. And then Casey Michael from Apapa says, hi guys, Manchester United's second best player like Shaw won't be available for the return leg against Barcelona, which literally means Manchester United is dead already.
Give us some credit.
Yeah, let's just read the headlines of this one.
Right, Atletico Madrid forward Diego Costa banned for 8 matches after Barcelona sending off. Interesting.
Yes, so they gave him the 4-match ban. The first 4 match. Sorry.
Yes.
The first 4 matches that he was banned for was because he insulted the referee's mother, and then the second 4-match ban was added because he was holding the referee's hand, so that the referee doesn't give him the card.
He actually did that.
So yeah,
Oh.
so that's why he accumulated 8. So and they have only 7 games left. So he will not play the rest of this season, and he still has 1 game in advance to be suspended for next season.
Can you imagine?
That's so unfortunate. Don't be unfortunate
Like Diego
like
Costa
Diego
this
Costa.
weekend.
Don't insult anybody's mother this weekend, please.
MI from Akoka sent in this final message here before we go. He said, Babashino Rambo, Lord knows we will miss him. All the chances he lost, though, is scaring me low-key. We're done.
Yes, we're done. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation this morning. And thank you, Tega, for bringing in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:15 on the Locker Room. You can follow Tega at Tega Supreme on Twitter and find out what she's doing with women in sports at LIS International. We'll find out what we're doing here in the studio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch old videos that we're posting up today, and also the ones that will show, later on during the week. All right, Lagos, we're going on a break. When we come back, music break, nice music lined up. When we come back at 9 o'clock, it's Feel Good Friday. We're already laughing and smiling at the topic for this morning, so stay tuned.
Awesome.